Coming up, Kyrie drops 50 and the Grizzlies blow out the Pelicans. This is Locked On Now NBA.
The biggest games, the best performances, expert analysis. You are Locked On Now.
Darius Garland with a career high pushes the Cavs over the Pacers. Locked On Cavs says, so far, no Jared Allen, no problem for Cleveland.
Hey, Chris Manning here from the Locked On Cavs podcast. After the Cavs just went to Indiana and got a big win. In a 127-124 win, the Cavs were down going into the fourth. It looked like they were going to let this game slip away from them against an inferior Indiana team. But they went on a 9-0 run to start the quarter. And at the end of the game, Darius Garland had a career-high 41 points to go with 13 assists. Evan Mobley, starting at center in Jared Allen's absence, had 22, 12, 5 steals, and a block. Lamar Stevens, in 19 minutes off the bench, had 9 points, but had a potentially game-winning block that led to the Darius Garland free throws that won the game for Cleveland. This was, again, the first game without Jared Allen, their first game without their all-star center. They went on the road, they won a key win as they go for playoff positioning, and a key win heading into a tough weekend back-to-back in Miami and in Chicago Friday and on Saturday. Again, 127-124, Darius Garland dropping the first 40-plus point game of his career. The Cavs got it done in a much-needed win. For more, check out the Locked On Cavs podcast wherever you get your podcasts.
The Pacers couldn't take advantage of the shorthanded Cavaliers, and Locked On Pacers joins us now with more from Indy.
Pacers fall to the Cavs 127-124 at home. I'm Tony East, host of Locked On Pacers, here to break it down. Darius Garland was everything that went right for the Cavs in this game and wrong for the Pacers. Career high 41 for him, and the Pacers had no answers. They started picking him up full court in the fourth quarter. It did not work. He still kept scoring. He still kept creating offense for the Cavs, and the Pacers, who did a good job cutting into the Cavs' lead late in this game, ended up tying it, taking the lead with under a minute to go. Horrible closing from them. They miss a shot late. They turn it over late. They have a boneheaded foul from Jalen Smith that ends up costing them the game. Cavs win by 3. Thanks to their clutch performance where the Pacers fell short there. Tyrese Halliburton was excellent for the Pacers, 25 points, 9 assists. He has been excellent since the Pacers acquired him in a trade deadline deal. But another loss for the Pacers in a season full of wins and lessons. We'll break it all down on the Locked On Pacers podcast.
Not too much to write home about for the Pelicans. The Grizzlies dominated pretty much in all facets of this game. Locked On Pelicans has more on what this will mean going forward for New Orleans.
No Brandon Ingram, no Zion Williamson still. Big problems for the Pelicans. I'm Jake Madison, host of Locked On Pelicans and Locked On NBA. Pels get run out by the Memphis Grizzlies 132-111. I don't have much on this one. The Grizzlies dominated basically every aspect of the game. The Pelicans were slow all night defensively and let the Grizzlies get any looks they wanted, including a ridiculous 42 points in the fast break. And when they did miss, the Pelicans struggled on the boards, giving up 15 offensive rebounds. Just kind of one of those nights. CJ McCollum continued his hot streak, going for 32 points in the lone bright spot for New Orleans. And now after a 4-0 start after the All-Star break, the Pels have lost 2 straight games. So for more on their chances on getting into the play-in tournament, be sure to check out the Locked On Pelicans podcast.
The Orlando Magic take it right down to the wire with one of the best teams in the NBA, but they come up just short to the Suns. Locked On Magic recaps what the team can take away from another tough loss.
This is Philip Rossman-Reich, the host of Locked On Magic, as the Orlando Magic fall to the Phoenix Suns 102-99 as Mikal Bridges blocks Chuma Okeke's game-tying three-pointer with about 5-6 seconds to play. Like so many other things with a young team, it's about learning things in the process. Yes, the Orlando Magic have the worst record in clutch situations, according to NBA.com, going 8-24 in situations when they're ahead or behind by 5 points in the final 5 minutes. That's what you expect from a young team. That's what you expect from a team that's going to struggle. And you expect the team to get progressively better. And in some cases, yes, Orlando did get better tonight. They defended pretty well and gave themselves a real chance when holding even without Devin Booker, even without Chris Paul, a pretty good Phoenix Suns team to 102 points, a team that scored, 120 plus points against the Milwaukee Bucks just a few days ago. But by the same token, Orlando is still showing all the troubles of a youthful and young team. taking some bad shots, getting hurried, getting trapped, getting put in bad spots where they're not able to make the plays that they need to win games. That's part of being a young team. That's part of the growing process that you have to go through. That's part of what Jamal Mosley's continued to preach, and there's plenty of good to come from this. Despite making only 6 3-pointers in the game, despite shooting less than 30% from the floor, Orlando gave themselves a real chance to win, and that kind of grit is important. At the end of the day, you got to make plays. At the end of the day, you got to make shots, especially in close games when it's really a coin flip. Orlando lost this coin flip, and they've lost plenty of coin flips this year, and it's just another part of the growing process. A lot more coming up on Locked On Magic. Until then, this has been Philip Rossman-Reich.
That's going to do it for this edition of Locked On Now NBA. Thank you for making Locked On Now your first listen every single weekday. Make sure you check out Locked On NBA and your team's Locked On podcast. I'm Kainani Stevens. This has been Locked On Now.